My name is Lauren Turich, and I have a bachelor's degree in global studies with my concentration being in international development and humanitarian action. I currently work as a paramedic in addition to volunteering for different international humanitarian groups. So I am enrolled in two schools. It's George Washington University, and through that school I'm working on my master's in public health. And I'm also at the local community college, and I'm working on prerequisites for medical school. I've always been interested in women's health, so I think it would be very interesting to be an OBGYN. Over the last 3 years, I've had the privilege of traveling with several different groups and a lot of very close friends to volunteer in different settings. The first country that we had traveled to was Romania. That was followed by Honduras and Peru. Just this year, I was able to go to the Philippines and study their healthcare system. Every trip has a different objective. When I was in the Philippines, I did not do anything clinical. I was there just to observe and learn about healthcare in a post-conflict society. Traveling to Honduras, we were directly involved in patient care. So every mission has a different objective. Often we would volunteer with other organizations like Medico, for instance. Medico was when we were in Honduras. We volunteered with Sea of Dreams in Romania, and in Peru I had volunteered with an organization called NGO Abroad. The organizations are deeply embedded in the communities, and they'll be able to let us know what kind of care is needed. So in one capacity, for instance, in Romania, we were traveling to people's homes that weren't able to get to the clinics. In Peru, I volunteered at a clinic, all really based on the community and what their need is. On the other hand, I volunteer locally in San Luis Obispo at the NOR Clinic, where it is predominantly serving low-income communities that wouldn't otherwise have access to healthcare because of their lack of insurance or ability to provide documentation. I want to be able to help people that don't have access to, I guess my specialty would be healthcare, but I think that's really applicable in any scenario. Professionally, I am working towards going to medical school, and that ultimately will allow me to have a greater skill set to serve. So I can't fix everybody's problems, but I know that I can contribute positively to different people by providing them health care. So ultimately, I think being a paramedic is very similar to being a humanitarian, in that you have to put yourself in the shoes of the person or the families of the person that you're trying to help. If you can't have empathy for your patient or their situation that had led them to have to call 911 in the first place, then I don't think you're being a true patient advocate at that point. And to be a good humanitarian, you'd have to be a good patient advocate, and I think being a paramedic really teaches you that skill.